Iran, from empire to revolution. The untold modern history asterisk. What happens when an empire falls? Oil is discovered, and the world's powers want a piece of your future. This is the story of Iran, a nation torn between kings, clerics, and coups, and how its fight for freedom shaped the Middle East today. Asterisk the Qajar collapse and rise of Reza Shah. Asterisk at the turn of the 20th century, Iran was ruled by the Qajar dynasty, weak, divided, and broke. Foreign powers, Britain and Russia, had carved Iran into spheres of influence. The people were angry. Iran needed strength. In 1921, a military officer named Reza Khan staged a coup. 5 years later, he crowned himself Reza Shah Pahlavi, the new king of Iran. His dream? A modern, independent Iran, with roads, railways, and no foreign boots on Persian soil. Asterisk World War II and the Allied invasion. Asterisk, but dreams clash with power. In World War II, Iran stayed neutral, yet its oil and railroads were too strategic to ignore. In 1941, Britain and the Soviet Union invaded. Reza Shah was forced to abdicate. His young son, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, just 21, took the throne. But behind the crown was pressure. The Cold War had begun, and the real game was only starting. Asterisk Mossadegh and the 1953 coup. In 1951, a bold nationalist, Mohammad Mossadegh, was elected prime minister. His mission? Take back Iran's oil from the British. He nationalized it and became a hero to millions. But Britain and its new ally, the United States, saw a threat. In 1953, the CIA and MI6 launched Operation Ajax. Mossadegh was overthrown. The Shah returned, now backed by Western power and with absolute control. Asterisk the Shah's rule and the seeds of revolution. Over the next 2 decades, Iran transformed. Skyscrapers rose, women entered universities, and oil wealth flowed. But under the surface, unrest was building. The Shah's secret police, Savak, crushed dissent. His white revolution alienated clergy and the poor. One voice grew louder: Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, exiled, but not forgotten. In homes and mosques, cassette tapes of his sermons passed hand to hand. A storm was coming. Asterisk the 1979 Islamic Revolution. In 1979, the dam broke. Protesters filled the streets. The army fractured. And after 38 years in power, the Shah fled Iran. Days later, Khomeini returned from exile to a hero's welcome. The monarchy collapsed. A new Islamic Republic was born, ruled by clerics, with Khomeini as its supreme leader. Asterisk hostage crisis and isolation. That same year, Iranian students stormed the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, taking 52 Americans hostage. The world watched in shock. The crisis lasted 444 days, and the U.S. Iran relationship shattered. Iran became a symbol of defiance and isolation. Asterisk, war, sanctions, and today in the 1980s, Iran was dragged into a brutal 8-year war with Iraq, costing over 1 million lives. Then came decades of sanctions, nuclear disputes, and protests. At home, yet through it all, Iran remains a pivotal force in the Middle East, rich in history, culture, and resilience. A nation still torn between revolution and reform, between isolation and engagement. The story of Iran isn't over. It's still being written. From empire to revolution, from kings to ayatollahs. This is the modern history of Iran. Not just a country, but a crossroads of power, resistance, and destiny.